And Adam, in an earlier conversation, you said that the caucuses does have a big consequence. Can you describe really what that consequence is when we're looking forward to New Hampshire next?
Well, for the first time, the whole country is going to be focused on one place with the first balloting of the campaign. This is the first time, beyond all the conjecture and speculation and polls that have been floated, these are real numbers. And I think that Iowa likes being in that spotlight, even though they say we have not been great predictors of winners. From what I gather from talking to people, they're okay with that. Again, the winnowing process, they're okay basically culling the field for the rest of America to entertain. So the contest becomes more compact, more understandable, and maybe more definitive when it's all said and done. But if you were to ask Huckabee and Cruz and Rick Santorum, if you ask them, they would say, well, geez, we really thought we had momentum. George Bush, you go back to when George Bush beat Ronald Reagan in Iowa, Big Mo. Well, the Big Mo turned into Low Mo in New Hampshire and No Mo after New Hampshire when Ronald Reagan took on George Bush and handily beat him and then was well on his way to the nomination.
You bring up a really, really interesting point, and that is that Iowa really isn't a great predictor. Since 1972, there are only three contenders when they were running, aside from those running uncontested, three candidates who won their Iowa caucus who went on to win the presidency. Those are Jimmy Carter, George W. Bush, and Barack Obama. So how does the wind get knocked out of so many people's sails from Iowa to New Hampshire to Super Tuesday? And yes, I'm looking at you, Pete Buttigieg, Ted Cruz, Rick Santorum,
Right.
Mike Huckabee.
Right.
How does that happen?
Well, first of all, Iowa, to be frank, is not a tremendous demographic reflection of the country at large. They're just not. And that's one of the reasons why Democrats move successfully to go from Iowa to South Carolina as their first kind of ballot measure in the primary contest for president. And there's nothing you can do about that. I mean, Iowa is Iowa. But the nice thing about Iowa politics is it's very personal. In New Hampshire, I think you would say the same thing. People get a good feeling about the contenders, up close and direct. And that actually has become now at the become the scourge of modern day media there, who are frustrated that candidates are no longer sitting down for editorial board interviews. They don't want to go one-on-one with the Des Moines Register. They want to go one-on crowd with the people of Iowa. And you're seeing that also in New Hampshire. That, by the way, is one of the interesting trends, Brittany, in politics. I mean, I think we've gone from barnstorming to something that is more social broadcast and cable media driven in terms of winners and losers. I rue that, frankly, because I think the personal nature of politics is very important. I think it's critical that we see our future leaders asked questions and to gauge the manner of their reactions to the questions as opposed to the policies they are prescribing. That I think we're missing a lot of. And maybe that's okay. Maybe that's just a sign of the times. That certainly plays into Donald Trump's hands. As you know, Donald Trump has attended 0 debates. He's going to attend in this primary season 0 debates. Instead, he's gone the town hall route. Fox News and others have done him a great favor. Tucker Carlson and others in trying to give him an alternate stage. The alternate stage has been well received, has been widely viewed. And if you know anything about Donald Trump, he understands the most important numbers are how many people are watching. He got that from his days in television. He's carried that through into his days in public elected life. And I think he's right. I think the more people that are watching, the more audience you have, the more likely it is you're going to have that wind in your sails to move forward.